In this video we're going to be looking over this Minolta Maxxum 7000 35mm film SLR camera equipped with the 50mm prime F1.7 lens. And I don't have the front lens cap, but it does have this Minolta filter on the front. It's a Minolta ACL35 UV filter, 49mm. This lens does feature a little short pull-out hood that can come out like that. And what I thought I'd do is put it through the kind of testing that you would want to see if you were holding this in your hands. So the first thing I'm going to do is open up the battery compartment. And now the 7000 and the similar 5000 are very prone to battery leakage issues. And now this battery holder is for 4 AAA batteries, and as we can see, there is a little bit of evidence of some past battery leakage here. It isn't real severe, and so it's generally pretty good. And so I'm going to load 4 AAA batteries in here. These do not come with the camera. Now this part rocks forward to make it easier to put this one in, and we'll just put in all 4. Snap that back that way, there, and then we get the last one in right here, and then install this into the camera and turn this little screw. There's enough of a texture to it that you can usually just work it with your thumb, or if you want to, a nickel key or nickel coin is a good key. So there we have the batteries loaded in, and so now, actually it was turned on, so now we see it's onto the program mode. But what we're going to do is load a scrap roll of film as well. This does not come with it, it's just here for testing. So open up the camera back, and we will load the film right there. Bring the leader over into this take-up area here. Close the back, and it pops off a few shots and still indicates 0, which is not right, so it didn't load it in the way it's supposed to. So we're going to just check that again. That's one thing that's nice about having that counter, is you know that if it engages, that it's worked. So now let's close this again. And it still didn't work. Let's just make sure that this is engaged with the sprocket holes. Okay, so now it loaded properly. We're on picture number 1. And so what I'm going to do here is let's just try. I'm going to set this on the manual here, and so then what we have is these buttons right here adjust the shutter speed, so I'm going to adjust that down to 1 full second, and then these buttons over here, when in manual mode, adjust the f-stop. So I'm going to run that up to f22, which is the smallest aperture, and then let's just watch this cycle here. I'm going to shut off the autofocus just so that it's not trying to do that. Okay. And we saw that the lens stopped down, and it was a 1 second duration. Now let's set this to a program mode so we don't have to worry about what we set it at. Okay, program, and let's set the self timer. We do that by using this drive button here and then stepping through the functions. So there's single and continuous and self-timer, ST. So now if we just point this right here and we point that at us here, now we hear a beep and we see this little light blinking, and we'll watch it complete the cycle. And there it did. And then if we Now all we really need to do is waste the remaining shots on here. So I'm going to just change the drive to continuous. And now, if I push this, it should just keep going. Okay, and it reached the end of the roll. It was a very short roll here, I should say. Now to rewind the film on this camera, you have to push this button on the back and pull this back. And so now the film is rewinding. And when it stops, we'll know it's safe to open the door. Okay, it has. So now if we open this over here, we can see that all the film is wound back into this cartridge. While we have the door open here, let's look at the inside, just make sure everything looks good. You can see the shutter operating and the film transport working. Over here, there's not a lot of light seals on here, and this foam, it doesn't feel sticky, it feels kind of hard, and I don't feel residue along here, though I don't think there's, there is some foam down in these channels, but so it looks pretty good. Door closes properly, and let's set the camera on autofocus, and then it'll be pointing up here at the ceiling and trying to focus on something. Well, there's not much up there. Okay. Okay. There I'm pointing at the curtains up there. So, anyway, the camera comes with the Minolta Maxxum strap, and the strap's in pretty good shape. Got that Maxxum on here in 2 places, and I don't have a lens cap, but it does come with this filter, and the filter screws in properly so that we know that it is the filter threads are good.